One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today. Good morning. All right, I'm dropping my daughter off at her volunteer assignment, and I'm headed back home to get ready for a yard sale that we're having tomorrow. Praying that it rains later in the day, say 3, 4, 5 o'clock. That's my prayer. I've been praying that it doesn't rain in the morning, doesn't start raining until the afternoon, because I've already taken this time off and put this time aside to do this yard sale and get rid of some stuff we're trying to pare down once again. But I wanted to come on and speak about something that I think most people know, most believers. If you're a true believer, you know this already, that the devil hates marriage. And those of you who've been married multiple times, I know several people who've been married multiple times, 2, 3 times. I know people who've been married 4 times, which is like, it's hard. And I've even told my friend who's been married 4 times, I said, it's hard not to judge. like I'm honest if nothing else. People know that. I'm going to be honest if nothing else, but I've told her it's hard not to judge. Okay. And she's like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try again. I'm going to keep trying. I'm like, ooh. So I don't have that kind of resolve. Can I be honest? 1 divorce is enough to last me a lifetime. I can't imagine getting divorced 2, 3, 4 times. That just, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. But most believers know that the devil despises marriage. And his modus operandi is to destroy your marriage, to destroy your family. Because if he can do that, that is how he's going to get a foothold. Like, that's how he's going to kind of mess everything up, is once your family is destroyed, once your marriage is destroyed, and we're experiencing it even now just with people dating, men hating women, women hating men. And I made a video the other day about women atoning for their sins toward men. But here's the thing that's important for men to understand. So women have to be humble enough to do that. A man has to be humble enough to receive it. So what we don't want to see men do, and this is what I think most men would do, sad but true, most men would rub women's face in it. They would rub their face in it. They would be like, yeah, that's right. Like they wouldn't accept it with humility. So again, we're right back to where we started. If someone apologizes, if someone comes to you and brings you a genuine apology, and your response is prideful or hateful, it's not kind, you're right back where you started. Both people have to humble themselves. Both people have to be in humility in order for this thing to work. So yeah, there are going to be women out there who might actually take my advice. They might do exactly what I instructed. But if the man doesn't do his part, if he doesn't have compassion, if he doesn't have empathy, if he rubs her face in it, then we're right back where we started. What's the difference? We're not in a healthy place. But, okay, the family unit is the immune system of society. Well, we are deathly ill. We are sick. We are in the ICU because the family is crumbling, right? Just basic things like sitting down to a meal together. There are a lot of families, there are a lot of couples that I talk with that I give them my blueprint, and they really struggle. They can't even do what I consider to be the bare minimum, which is having dinner together, having meals together, doing activities together, having family meetings. Do you know how many couples that when I bring up having a family meeting, they scoff? Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, my family's not going to like that. My family, don't nobody, This is what we do as a family. We get everything out in the open. You bring everybody together. You talk about a topic or you talk about a change that's going to happen, and you bring everyone together, and it's all out in the open. Everybody gets to speak freely. Everybody gets to say what they think and how they feel. You're not, holding it against them or weaponizing it. Yeah, I grew up with the family meeting. Still do the family meeting to this day. I need to have one, as a matter of fact. I'm thinking about, I think my daughter's going to be home. She's going to be home on Sunday. I'm thinking about having one Sunday. So they won't even do the basics of, family rituals. Having rituals and things that families do that signal, oh, we're back home. We're with our family. These are some of the things that we do as a family. People don't even do that. So just in my opinion, things that are just the bare minimum normal family activities, people don't even do that today. Don't eat meals together. Don't have family meetings. Don't do activities together. Don't go on family trips together. To me, that's really weird. Like, I don't get it. But the devil hates your marriage. And so a lot of you all are already married, right? And so I can't talk to you about choosing better. And that can be very frustrating as a couples therapist, because sometimes I think to myself, man, all this could be solved if this person just chose someone different, because the person they chose is making life very difficult. However, I do my best with what I have, right? So I'm given a set of items and I'm told to make something of it. And that's kind of what couples therapy is like. Okay, you're given these set of items. I need you to try to make something of it. But 75% of the couples that I see, they shouldn't even be together. They're not a good fit. They don't have shared values and morals. They didn't vet the other person properly. Like, they're just, the person they're with is just not a good fit for them. And that's why I enjoy my premarital work so much, and my people who are dating. I really enjoy that work. I still enjoy very much working with singles, because I believe I have a chance, like I have a shot at teaching them how to choose well, how to choose the right person. Because most people don't. Most people do not choose the best fit partner for them. And then, they spend the whole entirety of their relationship trying to make up for that, right? So it's the formula I told y'all about 2 years ago when I wrote my book, Choose Well. The first part of the equation is you have to choose well. You have to choose the best fit person for you. You have to choose a person based on character, based on morals and values and integrity. You have to choose a person that will work with you, that has a growth mindset. You have to choose a person that wants to be their best, right? And avoid all the negative things like addicts, people who are addicted to stuff, people who, have severe trauma, severe woundings, mental illness, like all these things gonna make the relationship real hard. And I get so much hate. I get so much hate, y'all, for saying that. I really do. I get a lot of hate. What? So, because I have this mental condition, hey, the reality is that y'all don't want to hear, that's going to make the relationship 10 times harder. You choose someone with bipolar, you are in for a wild ride, okay? You choose someone with borderline personality or narcissistic personality, like I said, I'm sorry, I'm smart. I'm intellectual, okay? I'm not going to do one of the hardest things that I've ever been called to do, which is marriage, and then do it with someone with a whole lot of problems. Like, it's already hard when we're both healthy. Like, we're both healthy and to some extent normal. We don't have any addictions or health conditions or mental health conditions or, it's going to be hard just then. And you expect me to add borderline personality or bipolar or severe depression, or you expect me to add alcoholism or marijuana addiction. You expect me to add that on top of it? No, that ain't going to happen. Okay, so no. So you have to choose well. That's the first part of the formula. The second part of the formula is you have to do well. Meaning, once you get in the relationship, you have to do your absolute best. You have to keep your relationship skills sharp. You have to just be the best version of yourself that you can be. And you have to be willing to learn and grow and learn that other person and grow with them and get a marriage mentor and go to therapy and all those things. Read books, listen to podcasts. Like, you have to do your very best. So it's not good enough for you to choose a great person and then get in the marriage and neglect that person or neglect the marriage. The marriage will still fail, right? Even if you chose a great person. I've seen it hundreds of times where the people that person chose were awesome. They just didn't show up. They didn't show up. They weren't their best selves. They acted a fool, and that person left. And that's what smart, securely attached people do. We do not stick around. We do not try to work it out, figure it out, to the nth degree. We do our best to communicate and we do everything that we can do. But once that's done, we go about our business. That's what secure people do. We're not gluttons for punishment. Like, oh, I just got it. No. Like this, unfortunately, this person is not doing the things they need to do to support the marriage. And I've done everything that I can do. I can't carry the marriage on my back, so I got to go about my business. That's what smart people do, okay? So I've seen that happen many times. I've seen people be with the right person, be with a great person. That person is wonderful and amazing, and they blow it. They blow it by not doing good. So they chose well. They didn't show up in the marriage. I see that a lot. But we need both of those things to happen. So what women tend to do is they choose poorly, okay? And I've said this millions of times. Y'all have heard this millions of times. Women tend to choose very poorly. They choose all the wrong men for all the wrong reasons. But what they think they're going to do is they're going to make up for it by doing well. I'm going to be awesome in the relationship. I'm going to be amazing. I'm going to overfunction and I'm going to, do all these things and da-da-da. And this is going to make it. No, it's not. No, it's not. If you choose the wrong man, there is no outdoing your wrong choice. And women must know that and believe that. I've cut my losses many a time. I've come to that realization. Oh, snap! Did it again. Like, this is the wrong person. This is not the person I can have a healthy relationship with. This person is wounded and traumatized. This person is a type 2 cheater. This person is neglectful, is abusive. Right? And there ain't nothing I can do about that. Like, there ain't nothing I can do that is probably going to change that. Like, they have to want to change that. They have to want to do something about that. And so that's happened to me more than a little bit, where I woke up to, did it again. I chose this person. Now, the good news is I can figure that out right around month 3, sometimes in 30 days. But right around month 3, sometimes month 6, I'm like, yeah, shucks. And then I just say, no, thank you. Because remember what I told y'all. Anything that happens in the first 12 months, you shouldn't be that attached. You shouldn't be that deep in it. You're not married to this person. Y'all don't have any kids. You can get out of it. And you should get out of it. Again, I get a lot of hate for saying that, but it's the truth. Okay, my response is going to be different when you're married. My response is going to be different when you have a family. If you're just dating this person for 3 months or 6 months, you ain't in love. Don't even tell that lie. You in lust. You ain't in love. You're not truly attached. You're not truly bonded. Not yet. You don't even know them. So yeah, you need to back on out of it. You need to see it for what it is and go on about your business. Y'all hate when I say that, but it is the truth. Unless 12 months go by, you're engaged, you're married, you have children together, but outside of that, you can change your mind. There's a return policy on that person, okay? And y'all hate that. Y'all don't like me for saying that because you're thinking, well, Anita, it's real. It's real in 4 months. No, it's not. No, it ain't. It's not real. Don't even tell that lie. It's not real. You can get out of it. Just like y'all be buying dresses and buying clothes for events and tuck the tag in and you take it back. You need to do that with that person. Take it back. Return it. Okay? Because it's not for you. But both of those things have to be true. Okay? You have to choose well and you have to do well. Say yes to heaven, 11:11. People can be bipolar and work, meditate, read their way out of it. Can they? Can they? I've got some bipolar people in my practice that would, think otherwise. These people are medicated. Okay, so they're on medication. They're clearly seeing a therapist. They're using other tools, right? They're using other tools and other things. However, they should disclose their mental health condition, right? And this is the part that we don't talk about enough. If you don't feel comfortable disclosing to a person that you're dating exclusively and committed, that's a huge problem. So if you're telling me you're going to go out on dates and then you're going to get exclusive and committed and you're going to sleep with that person and all these other things, but, I don't feel comfortable talking to them about my mental health, then that's not your person. That's not real. Can I be honest? That relationship isn't real. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not in a real healthy relationship. So we disclose. We are honest with people. We're upfront with people and give them the knowledge. Give them the right to that information so they can decide if that's something they want to deal with. But it's the same with, sexually transmitted diseases. Same thing applies. If you have a sexually transmitted disease that's incurable, disclose. Disclose. You're a horrible person if you don't. Okay? Because you're not being honest. You're not being open and you're not being transparent. You're duping the other person. You're tricking them into being in a relationship with you and they don't even have all the information they need to make a good choice. That's what you're doing. So whether it's your mental health, whether it's your physical health, I say the same thing about physical health. Don't lie. Don't lie. And you got diabetes. You got a heart condition. You got some other physical condition that is going to make the relationship, that's going to strain the relationship. Like, nah, you wrong. You wrong. Okay? If I had a serious health condition, if I had sickle cell, right? I have a serious health condition. People have a right to know that. Give people all the knowledge they need to make that choice. But you know what? Let's be honest. Y'all just want to be loved. You just want to be with somebody. In your selfish mind, all you're thinking about is getting what you want. That's why you don't tell. That's why you don't disclose. But mental health conditions, you need to disclose. Physical health conditions, STD statuses, you need to disclose. You need to disclose how many times you've been married. You need to disclose how many kids you got. You need to disclose if you got some serious financial jacked up issues. You need to disclose. And again, am I saying it's all going to happen on the first date? No. Because most of these relationships don't even make it past 90 days. But if you get to 90 days or even 60 days, have a disclosure conversation. Be honest with that person. Because, yeah, I know people with bipolar, and it is no fun. It's not something I would ever choose. And if I ever see those behaviors, I'm like, you have, do you have bipolar? Like, what's happening? What's going on? That's not something I myself, am willing to tolerate or accept at this point in my life. I'm not even, I'm not willing to accept a 55-year-old man with a 3-year-old. So don't go running in the comments, taking it all personal. There's lots of things I'm not willing to accept. If you 55 and you talking to me and I find out you got a 3-year-old, I'm good. It's a whole lot of things I'm not willing to tolerate at this age. So that's all, just the skulls. All right, Brianne Nicole says, I do believe there is spiritual warfare in the dating scene. If the devil can twist singles' minds, he can stop or delay people getting married. Yep. He wants people single and in sin. Oh, of course. Of course. This is, that's the order of the day. That's the order of the day, y'all. And look, he got y'all out here believing that it's not sin, that it's not problematic, because guess what? Everybody's doing it. Like, that's y'all's definition of right and wrong. That's the new definition of right and wrong. So things are right if everybody's doing it. If the majority of people are doing it, it must be right. And then if a few people go, oh, that must be wrong. That's the new definition of right and wrong. So yeah. Okay, she says sometimes people are misdiagnosed by doctors if someone changes for the better. I would say that in terms of other conditions that are not as severe, but usually if a person is diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar 1 or 2, like there's some very serious, psychoses, there's some very serious mental health conditions. And those conditions don't just go away, right? They don't just go away. They're usually with people for life, and they usually get worse as people age. So just be mindful and disclose. Be mindful and disclose if that is your situation. No one is saying that you don't deserve love. No one is saying, because guess what? There are plenty of people out there that are like, yeah, it's not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, my God, look at all the addicts in the world. There are more addicts in relationships than non-addicts. Like, that blows my mind, right? All the addicts that come into my practice, they're all in relationships. They're all married or in serious relationships. And then I'm looking at myself like, okay, like, what is happening? What is happening? So those of us who, okay. But clearly there are people out here who want to love you. So that's all. All right. Do you think all women believe they are a lover girl? No, not today anymore. No, they're not. I think more women today are not a lover girl. Their minds have been twisted. They have been indoctrinated into feminist dogma. And now women are the new men. Women are the new men. They said they're going to do what men do and do it 10 times worse. Women are the new men. It's rare that you find a lover girl. It's rare that you find a woman that just wants love, just wants genuine love, genuine companionship. It's rare that you find a woman who actually lives to serve a man, right? If you say that to today's woman, she will lose her entire mind. I said one time on a date, I kid y'all not, and this man hounded me to the ends of the earth. Now, I later found out that he was not the man for me. But he hounded me to the ends of the earth because, again, he had never heard anything like this said before, ever. But we were on a date and we were just talking about, all the craziness in the world, everything that's going on, this and that. And he was asking me about, remarriage. And I just, that's my standard. I don't have a problem telling a man that. Yeah, that's kind of my standard. My standard is to marry again one day. That's where the relationship would go. And if the man knew from the very beginning that that's not where he wanted it to go, then we don't even need to keep getting to know each other. We can be friends. We can have a genuine friendship. And I've had that happen many times where men are like, well, you know what? Anita's dope. She's cool. I'll keep calling her and talking to her. But yeah, we don't need to keep trying to romantically court each other, because if you don't want to get remarried or married, then I'm good. But we were on this date and we were talking about, I said, yeah, marriage is my standard. And I get it. Not every man wants to get married, especially now. The landscape is so horrible. Women have changed quite a bit and this and that. And he was like, yeah, tell me about it. And he asked me, well, what's the number one reason, why you want to get married? Like, what's the main reason for you wanting to marry again? Like, what do you see that being? And this was my answer. And I'm telling you, this man hounded me to the ends of the earth. I said, well, I just look forward to serving. I just look forward to serving my husband. I look forward to serving him, being his helpmeet, making his life easier, better, contributing to whatever it is we got going on, contributing to our legacy, contributing to our kingdom. I honestly mean that. I get off on service to my husband and my family. That's it. And he was like, oh my God. And he had never heard that. He had never heard someone talk about what they wanted to give to the other person. Right? And that man hounded me to the ends of the earth. I mean, years. And I was like, we're not a good fit. He's like, why? Why not? I was like, there's some other things there that are pretty high on my list, are pretty important, that unfortunately, we're not a good fit. But yeah, you're not going to hear women talk like that anymore. It's all about them. It's all about what they can get. And that's people, period. I'm not even going to jump on women in this particular video. Men too. Men go into it looking for sex, looking for other benefits of having a steady woman. And men are interesting to me because they love the benefits of relationship, but they hate the responsibility. They love all the benefits of good women. They love being cooked for, cleaned, your clothes and sex and the comfort and all the things. They love all of that. They just don't want to pay what it costs. And so they will wear women down. They'll try to get a discount. They'll use coupons and come on 3 for 1 day. They'll do all these things to get all of that for free. And I'm sorry, sir, that's just not how it works. So this establishment right here, it is a full service, full fee establishment. The cost is the cost for the thing that you want, period. They hate that. They hate that about me, that there are no coupons, there's no discounts, there's no buy 2, get 1 free day. None of that exists. If you come today, this is the cost. If you come a month from now, this is the cost. If you come in the morning, this is the cost. If you come at night, this is the cost. Like, the cost is going to be the same. And they hate that. Okay? So, no, unfortunately, women have been deeply indoctrinated. The fact that they believe that women are oppressed in the West that's proof right there. The fact that they have twisted the word patriarchy, that's proof right there. Like, who wouldn't want their father to take care of them? Who wouldn't want the protection and provision from their father and the male head of household? Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to flourish and thrive under healthy masculine authority? Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want a good masculine man taking care of them, paying the bills, meeting their needs emotionally, sexually, financially, physically, spiritually, taking care of the children that they've created, being there for them, listening to them? Who wouldn't want that? So, yeah. All right, hold on a second. Say yes to heaven 11:11. Do you believe men and women can be mean all their life and then find a spiritual awakening through faith and become very kind and soulful? I've seen it, so I tend to believe it. Anything can happen, right? As long as there's breath in your lungs, anything can happen. Yes, I do believe anything can happen because I've seen it also. I've seen a lot of crazy things that I never thought would happen. So anything can happen. That is the hope, right? That is the hope that we will wake up, that we will, come out of this slumber, this deep, intoxicating slumber that we're all in, this toxic, dream, this nightmare. We're all actually living in a nightmare. That's how I described it the other day. I'm like, we are living in some sort of, just nightmare. We're in this collective nightmare all together. I know I want out. The only time I get out of this collective nightmare is in my dreams. So I've been doing a lot of deep dreaming lately and deep sleeping lately because of this new magnesium supplement that I'm taking. And when I tell y'all, oh my God, I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm with the love of my life. We are having a great time. I can see him, smell him, taste him, touch him, hear him. Like I'm in heaven. But then I have to wake up and live in this nightmare. Like I have to wake up. Oh, dang. Like I'm back. It's just horrible. It is absolutely horrible. But we are living in this collective nightmare. I agree it's rare, but it seems like even the ones who have adopted the feminist mindset believe they are really lover girls who can't be won and blame men. No, you can remain a lover girl. I don't have to, like I said, that's a choice. That's a choice that those women are making. Oh, I want to be feminine, but I can't. That's a lie. Because I am feminine. Unless I am in my business, unless I am in business meetings or talking to people about business, or I'm in a teaching, dynamic like I am right now. I am using masculine energy right now because I'm in a teaching dynamic. I'm creating content. I'm going to go upstairs and edit it. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Yeah, that's all me creating. That's me initiating, making things happen, creating that. Yes, that's a part of my masculine side. But I kid y'all not, when I'm not at work, when I'm not doing my coaching program, when I'm not doing my platform, I am deep, deep into the feminine side of myself. And I refuse. This is the part that women get messed up. I refuse to do it when men are around. So when men are around, that is the feminine me. I am not barking orders. I am not taking charge. I am not the go-to person. When men are around, I acquiesce. I immediately say, oh, there's a man here. What's happening? What are we doing? What's the plan? Okay, that's my mind immediately shifts to that. And that's what women need to understand. Can a woman lead? She most certainly can. But she has to literally be, okay, there is no one else here that, there's no one here to do it. It has to get done. But I'm going to be honest with you. I better run through every man in here. Because no, I don't want to, that's not my plan. So, Okay. True words. Yes. Mine didn't bother with myself at all, like robots. Thank you for those answers. You're welcome. Excellent. I move forward every day. One day I'm going to cross paths with a man who finds me interesting. Smiles. Good. I hope so. I hope and pray that that's the case. I do. And I get it. It has to be hard when you've never really experienced a truly healthy masculine, okay, man. I can't imagine what that world is like because I've had many of them. So I don't understand when Gen Zs or millennials, oh, I've never had a masculine man. My own father wasn't masculine. I've never dated a masculine man or been married to a masculine man. I have to do everything. See, I don't understand that because that's not been my experience. Most of the men in my world are men. Like, they're men. And understand this, I lean back. That's how I inspire the man in them, is I lean back. I lean all the way back. And that's what a lot of women don't do. You meet a guy, you like the idea of him, and you like the idea of the polarity, but there is a part of you that is leaning forward. And the way men are wired, this is the way men are wired by definition. If you fill a space, then they won't. They can't. They're like, okay, we can't both be in that space at the same time. They're going to let you fill that space. They're going to let you give and do. They're going to let you, see what I mean? We both can't fill the space at the same time. And that's what women don't understand. Just like with their mouth. Be quiet. Maybe if there was more silence, your man would talk. But, oh, he doesn't talk. He's not communicative. Because you're always talking. You're filling all the space. You're sucking all the air out of the whole conversation. Be quiet. How many times have I had to give that advice? Be quiet. But, like I said, I can't make this up. And I have wives that are in entire dynamics where the husband is the son. The husband is her little son. And that's the dynamic that they're in. And they're exhausted. Oh, I'm so exhausted. I'm so overwhelmed. He's like another child and this and that. But you played a part in creating this dynamic. The first part you played is accepting this in the first place. Like I said, I will not continue to date a man who doesn't initiate. He just doesn't get my time or energy. I will not engage with men that are passive. That's the first mistake you made. You ran up on a passive man and you strong-armed him into a relationship. And he was like, okay. You want to be exclusive? You want to be, okay. And then you strong-armed him into getting married. And he was like, okay, I'm getting some needs met here. Okay. And then y'all married. And now you strong-arming him into some kids and and then you grow tired of that. And he don't do nothing. He ain't been doing nothing from day one. But the truth is, you didn't have a problem with it then. Why you ain't dealing with it now? What's the problem? There's a problem? Because in his eyes, you've accepted me like this for 10 years. We've been doing this for 15 years. I've literally had husbands sit on my couch like a bump on a log. I don't understand. What's the problem? I've been like this. They have said it with their mouth. I've been like this and now it's a problem. And then I look over at her, I'm like, that's the accountability that you don't want to take. I strong-armed this man into a whole marriage. And because he's so passive, because he's the feminine, right? He was like, okay, if you leading, I'm following. like that's a lot of men now. If you leading, I'm following. But that is not healthy polarity. And guess what? It won't last. It won't last. So that's what I tell a lot of women. Enjoy your 5-year relationship. Enjoy your 10-year marriage or 15-year marriage. But it will come to an end. Because your natural, God-designed way of being is going to come online, especially when you get overwhelmed and tired, especially when you have to work 40, 50 hours a week, especially when you have to have 2 and 3 kids. And then you're going to be like, wait a minute. Like, why am I? How did I get saddled with what, huh? Like, then you wake up. I've seen it thousands of times sitting right in my office. And I'll say things like, and I know it resonates because they start crying, their eyes get wide, like, yeah. Like, it's like, this work is very rewarding work. It's heartbreaking work, but it's very rewarding when you hit that nail on the head and the person's like, yeah, like, yeah, I just want to be the girl. I just want to relax. I just want to be taken care of. I just want to but you have to. So this is another thing I see it. And then I got to get going, y'all, because I got to set up for this yard sale. I said to a client last night, I had a beautiful couple. I absolutely love this couple, y'all. Beautiful couple. They're well fitted to each other. But we were doing the 10 core emotional needs, and they had ranked financial support like lower on the list. And most women today do. This is what's interesting. A lot of modern day women, they put financial support lower on the list. And men don't believe that. Men believe that all women want money and all women want, no. The truth is, I think most modern day women, they're too prideful. They're too prideful to be gold diggers. Young women, now Gen Z women, these women have no pride, as we have seen by the way they dress, by the way they talk, by the things they do. See, those women don't have no pride. I'm not talking about Gen Zs or the young millennials. I'm talking about the older millennials, the Gen X. Those women have too much pride to put financial support at the top of their list. Okay, they've been deeply indoctrinated in the feminist narrative. I am woman, hear me roar. I got money, I got a title, I do this, I do that. They never gonna put financial support at the top. So it usually falls between 7 and 10. And we were talking about that just last night. I said, oh, I noticed you put financial support as a 7 or an 8. And oh, well, we both work and I have my own money and blah, blah. Same thing I always hear. Same narrative I always hear. I said, but I want you to keep something in mind, that if you ever intend on having a family, if you intend on having children, if you ever think for a second that you might want to stay at home with those children, then financial support needs to come to the top. I said, when I was in the stage of looking for my husband, when I was officially like, I'm looking for my husband, right? I'm officially open to a man finding me. I'm open to marriage. Financial support was number 2. Financial support was number 2 on my list, right behind intimate conversation. Okay, those were the top 2 things that were important to Anita. I had no shame in my game. I knew I wanted to stay at home with my children. I knew I wanted to serve my family and my husband. Okay, now a lot of women will get angry. So I had girlfriends back when I was married. I had girlfriends that they, worked and they was working girls and they were so proud of their degrees and what they did and how much money they made. And then they got married too. But when they had kids, they didn't have the option to stay at home. Or when they had kids, they had to pretty much do 2 full-time jobs. They had to go to work all day. They had to come home at night and do everything in the house. And Anita was sitting at home the whole time, chilling. And so they felt a way. Well, I don't know why you get to do this and blah, blah, blah. I said, because of the choice that I made. I put financial support as number 2. I didn't, fall for the feminist trope of, oh, I'm woman, hear me roar. I was like, no, I want to be, 100% provided for financially by my husband. And I want to 100% provide for my family in other ways. Like that. I knew that going in. But women get mad when they change up, they switch up the game, but they can't switch up the game because you put financial support as number 8 or number 9 or number 10. So you didn't think it was important then, it can't be important now. And a lot of women don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. If you ever think you're going to stay at home with your children, if you ever think that, you might want to, even if it's a year, right? You need to choose a man who can financially provide. Right? And he doesn't have to be Bill Gates. He doesn't have to be Jeff Bezos, but he should be able to provide. You should be able to survive off of his income alone. Okay? That is the truth. I had some comments. Hold on. Okay. She says, yes, one of the most masculine men I grew up with passed away. I remember our dynamic. He always led me and I naturally led him. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you experience it. Love hearing your perspectives. It gives me hope. Please stay hopeful. I mean, I know it's hard because today, like I said, we're living in this collective nightmare. I don't accept negativity and hasn't the energy to even show some respect and interest in their women. So true. Never does. I met my man way back, got engaged then over 2 years. He proposed marriage. Good. And he was truly amazing. Amazing. She said, good marriage. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, but again, having financial support at number 2 does not make you a gold digger. It simply reflects, it reflects what's important to you. And for me, it was being at home with my children. So clearly, like I said, he was in medical school, then he became a resident, then he became a fellow. So he wasn't making a whole lot of money. I want to say he was making between $40,000 and $50,000, but we managed to live off of that so I could be at home with our children. And then that amount went up exponentially, so it's an investment of your time and your energy and your effort, right? That this person will eventually make a lot of money, will eventually be able to meet the ends and then some. But I don't want y'all to get it twisted. Even if a woman put financial support at the top of her list, right? I wouldn't have an issue with that. I just ask questions. I would ask questions about what does that mean to you and what's the importance of that and what would you do with that, right? I just ask questions. Some people grew up very poor. And so, yes, financial support is at the top of their list because they're like, this is something I never had. I lived in poverty. I lived in not having enough to eat and not having nice clothes to wear. Okay, I get it. That wasn't my story. I didn't grow up in poverty. I didn't grow up not having enough to eat or living in the ghetto or anything like that. I grew up very middle class. However, I knew I wanted to stay at home with my children. That was my value. That was what was most important to me. And in order to do that, I have to choose someone who A, agrees with that, and B, has the financial means to do it. Okay, she says he would want me to carry on. Are you all is he deceased now? Has he passed away? Sadly, in the United Kingdom, men don't really stand up and do their part. Oh, wow. Yeah, the West, like I said, has gotten real bad. Like I said, it's gotten real bad. And there's lots of reasons for that. Oh, yeah, he passed away of cancer. Okay, well, my apologies. You have my deepest sympathy because when you have real love, when you have a good man and that man passes away, you feel robbed. You feel cheated. Like, I can't find another one of these. This is crazy. Yeah, you feel robbed. Like, golly, that's crazy. But my hope, because I know God, okay, I know God, and God is a God of second, third, fourth, and a gazillion chances. So that's what I hope for you, that lightning will strike again. It will strike again. You got to be ready. You got to be able to see it, right? You got to be ready, okay? And what I teach women to do is to really see and feel and relax into a good man, because a lot of women, our nervous system is so jacked up that we can't recognize a good man. So we got to work on healing our nervous system. So when a good guy comes along, we're like, oh, this is actually a really good guy. Oh my God, I can be really happy with him. Oh my God, this guy actually cares about me. Like, this guy is for real. Like, but most of us will never recognize these guys because our nervous system is so tore up. Yeah, and we self-sabotage. Toya Hall says, I supported my ex-husband financially when we were young and got married in our 20s, but now divorced in my 50s. I just can't do that again. It wasn't easy. Don't think he ever felt like the man. Yeah, that's tough. Hopefully, though, here's what I hope. That at some point that dynamic shifted. At some point that dynamic shift, did he become the provider? Did he start making more money? Because yeah, if that never shifted, now I got a problem. I don't mind doing what we have to do so you can get over here. And I mean quickly, but if it was like that the whole marriage, no. Like no. Hugs to you too. Say yes to heaven. Evolving Lulu says, hello, how much did I miss? I'm actually about to wind down. I've been on for about an hour, about 45, 50 minutes. But because I got to get this stuff put out here, y'all. And y'all got to pray that the rain staves off until tomorrow evening. But the devil is, it's never become so clear to me that there is spiritual warfare that we're in. It has to be, right? Because with all the explanations, like I even sat down and I wrote the explanations on the men's side, I wrote the explanations on the women's side. It all leads to the same person. It all leads to the devil's behind all of this. The devil's behind all of this. He's behind women hating themselves, hating their bodies, mutilating their bodies with surgeries and lip filler. He's behind all of this. He's behind pornography on the men's side, right? Yeah, let me give you something that cuts your balls off. Let me give you something that castrates you, that makes you not even want a real woman. You won't even be able to perform with a real woman because you watch porn. That comes from the devil. So the devil is behind all of it. And I think if we can stand up and say that, if we can take accountability for our part, right, and just stand up and say, you know what? I think I'm being tricked by the devil. Like, I think there is a spiritual being, an evil spiritual being behind all of this. And I'm being manipulated, right? So that's the first thing that we have to say. We have to acknowledge the devil's part in it. We have to acknowledge the fact that there's spiritual warfare and the devil is manipulating us. But we also have to take accountability. That is the second part where we say, I'm being manipulated. I'm allowing this stuff to blacken my heart. I'm allowing this narrative to get in my head. That's the second part. So give credit to where credit is due, which is Satan, okay, which is Lucifer. And the second part is take accountability for allowing him into your head, into your heart. That's how we're going to make real change. Okay? Stop blaming the other sex and the other gender. Take accountability, though, that you know what? I do be saying this stuff. I do be spouting this rhetoric. I do be letting this stuff in. This is what's on my feed. This is what I'm watching. This is what I'm listening to. Like, you got to acknowledge your part. Your part in it. How are you showing up? How are you letting these messages get into your mind and get into your heart and get into your spirit? And then just clean it up. Clean it up. So I have a new phone. Y'all should be excited. And look, the guy at the phone store swore up and down the 16 Pro wasn't going to overheat, but we're going to see. Because I'm going to put it to the test, okay? But I got a new phone, y'all. Got my 16 Pro. Apparently the camera on here is fire. I haven't really tried it yet other than to make these videos. And I love a new phone. I love a new start. I love to be able to, you know, download the pictures, put them somewhere. I just love a fresh start. I go through all the apps. I really look at the apps like, am I using this? Delete this app. Like, I love a new start. I love a fresh start. And then I go through my contacts. Every time I get a new phone, y'all, I go through my contacts. Do I really need this number? And, you know, I delete people from my phone. I love a new phone. So clean it up. Clean it up. I'm going to put in, one thing I noticed is my, it got rid of my focus. So it got rid of all of the focus stuff I had where I only get an hour a day on Instagram, an hour a day on Facebook, and I don't even use that hour. That's why I try to make these videos quickly. And, you know, I just put these limits on myself. I put these limits on myself. So many hours a day on YouTube, I put limits. So I need to go back into the phone today and put those limits back, put my do not disturb back, put all my focus back, right? But I love a new phone for that very reason. I get a reset. I get to look at how I'm doing things. I get to look at, okay, what needs to change in my world? And I want y'all to do that too. Look at what needs to change in your world. What do you need to consume that's different? If you're consuming the same negative stuff, you're going to get the same result. So let go of that stuff. Put limits on your phone when it comes to Instagram. Put limits on your phone when it comes to Facebook or TikTok. TikTok is the devil reincarnate. I just don't know how anybody. I've gotten on my daughter. My oldest daughter is obsessed with it. I'm like, this is the worst thing created. Right behind AI. TikTok is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And it's turning people into monsters. Parents are on there doing these crazy skits with their children, where their children are cussing them out and their children are talking crazy to them. They think it's all a gas. They think it's all hilarious. I'm like, what in the heck is happening in the world? That 8-year-old kids are cussing their parents out on TikTok while the parent records it. And it's just so funny. This is hilarious. Y'all, TikTok is horrible. So I'm just going to keep it real. People who are on TikTok, people who are on X, I be secretly judging them. I be secretly judging y'all. I do. I be asking, oh, where'd you get that video? Oh, it's on TikTok. I'll be like, I don't have that on my phone. I don't have X on my phone. I be secretly judging y'all. I'm serious. I know that's horrible. That's why I said the Lord need to work on me. He need to work on my heart because I do be judging. Like, I do be judging people. I know it's wrong, and I work on that every day. I be praying about just Lord, just change my spirit, Lord. Like, help me to stop judging people. Help me, because I know I'm not perfect. I know I do wrong things. I know I got problems. But Lord, why are they like this? Yuck. Oh Lord. Yeah, I can't do it. So just be mindful. Just be mindful of those things. Okay? Thank you so much for being on here with me. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your support. Remember, you can watch all of my videos in its entirety over on YouTube. That's where all my videos live. The other thing I'm actually going to say out loud, because I've been thinking about it for the last 60 days, is I am considering getting off of Instagram. Oh, I am actually considering getting off of Instagram. And, I've been thinking about it. I've been praying about it. But I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube about people who have deleted all their social media. And there's a part of me, that wants to do that also, that I feel like it will free up a lot of energy. It will free up a weight that I feel like is on me. So I've just been thinking about it and praying about it. I have Facebook. I don't go over to Facebook, but I can't delete it because all of my business accounts are there and my clinician's referral group is there. So I really don't go over to Facebook. And then Instagram is my main platform, and just trying to figure out how to transfer those followers over to YouTube. So I'm probably going to talk with some sort of social media marketer or somebody about that, but I am strongly considering leaving Instagram because I'm kind of over it. I just think that would help me on a personal level. So yeah. Okay, she said Messenger is changing. Yeah, it's just all of them. All of them are, yeah, they're doing some weird stuff. I don't know. They're just doing some weird stuff. So yeah, I don't know. So I just been thinking about that. But I told myself don't do anything until the end of the year, right? To just sit tight. It's just a feeling, like you're having this feeling. Don't act on it just yet. You got to do the cost benefit analysis. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the cost benefit analysis. I'm going to get this book out to you all, and then I'm just going to see what happens in December, and then I'll make a decision. But I'm kind of over it. I'm over it. But anyway, have a great rest of the day. It's absolutely gorgeous here. My prayer is that I wake up tomorrow and it look exactly like it does right now. And it stays like this until 2:00. So I want that to be y'all's prayer too. But I'm going to put up my tent. I'm going to cover everything just in case, but I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to move forward with my plan, y'all, because yeah, I've already committed and taken the time off, so I got to do it. So y'all know I love a good yard sale. I love to attend a good yard sale, and I love to have a good yard sale. So hopefully everything goes well. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember, everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support, and as always, stay open to love.